Worst political scandals of our lifetime.
It's the circus is back in town. I mean,
hey everyone, I'm Haley. I study strategic communications. Let's sharpen our media literacy skills together. This is How to Push Back. Today we're looking at two very different takes on the same story. Tulsi Gabbard's criminal referral over the Trump-Russia investigation. One side frames it as a bombshell scandal, the other as a recycled distraction.
Ease base's fury over Epstein. Caddy, this is the lead story. And man, they're doing everything from releasing records from Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination against the family's best wishes to spinning oldies but goldies, the political equivalent of Blueberry Hill. I mean, talking about Barack Obama and, quote, Russiagate, which, of course, takes you back to the first months of Donald Trump's first administration.
What I'm noticing here is a heavy use of sarcasm and nostalgia references to discredit this sort of entire news item before the details are even shared. They're calling it spinning oldies but goldies, and it's kind of discrediting it by kind of calling it a rerun. This tone, I think, is shaping our emotional response before the facts even land. It's kind of telling us, don't worry, this is nothing new.
About the need for calling the Washington football team the Washington Redskins and the Cleveland Indians. And we could go down the laundry list of things that the president's thrown against the wall over the past couple of days. Here we go on Joe Biden, President Obama, Adam Schiff, Martin Luther King Jr., Hillary, the former USAID administrator, Harvard, immigration, Rosie O'Donnell, tariffs, NPR, PBS, and then, of course, Idaho student murders and sports teams. What's your take, David? What does your reporting tell you?
well, listen, Joe, I mean, it's the circus is back in town. I mean,
This moment stands out to me because the anchor is listing scandals and buzzwords and names rapid fire. It's creating this feeling of being overwhelmed and familiar all at the same time. I think it's reminding us, like we've seen this before, and it activates this kind of tribal memory, and I think that can serve to dull critical thinking and curiosity.
This is one of the worst political scandals of our lifetime. We spent 2 years and tens of millions of dollars investigating what turned out to be a conspiracy theory, which is that Donald Trump colluded with Russia to steal the 2016 election. And it turned out it wasn't true. And there were a lot of Democrats were pushing this. A lot of people in the media were pushing it. But what was most insidious were the people in the intelligence community who would basically were telling the American people a pernicious lie, which is you can't see it, but we've seen secret intelligence that.
What I notice here is the use of dramatic phrases like pernicious lie and treason. I think this positions intelligence officials not as protectors of truth, but as villains and cover-ups. It serves to kind of flip who we trust and why.
And when the intel community is transparent, their goose is cooked.
Right. It is kind of remarkable to think of what the Kremlin must be thinking. All they had to do is buy a couple of Facebook ads, and then they sit back and they watch the entire Democrat Party do all of their propaganda for years.
I think this moment hits really hard because it takes the blame that was aimed at Trump and it shifts it to his critics, and it kind of paints them as manipulators of democracy. This tactic reframes scandal as vindication, and it claims ownership of the moral high ground. Both of these clips ask us to revisit old wounds, and more than that, they ask us to pick sides. They use emotion, sarcasm, outrage, mockery, pride to canalize our attention into fixed grooves. The coverage isn't just about the story, it's about directing our energy. Your anger goes here, your trust goes here. And it often mirrors personality types. So, do you crave order? Well, you go here. Do you hate being tricked? Well, you go here. The networks and other types of media build emotional pathways that align with those traits. So if all of this comes down to emotions and feels and personality types, how do we move forward? What would it take to rebuild trust in the news? If we started from scratch, if we just cleared everything out, if we started from scratch, how would we design a media system that's honest and fair and that serves the public? I want to hear from you guys. If you're a journalist, a researcher, a teacher, therapist, tech worker, whatever. Bring your perspective. All of them are valuable. This isn't just a media problem. It's a society-wide issue. It's a society-wide question. So drop your comments below. I'd love to talk about this. If you're not sure where to start, try naming one thing you might change or who the news should answer to. Talk about what kinds of stories would matter most. And you know, maybe things like what would make you trust it again. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, this has been How to Push Back. My name is Haley. Thank you for being here with me, and we'll see you next time.